Commentary is dead. Criticism is now considered harassment, and you deserve demonetization if you're criticizing people for their bad actions. Why do I say that? Because earlier today, or moments ago actually, I got this bad news here that my channel has been demonetized. Demonetization seems to be something that's happening a lot on YouTube these days.
Out of nowhere, YouTube sends an email demonetizing the channel.
So as you might know, YouTube decided to not give me the play button. It isn't about the play button, but it's about the principle of the reward system on YouTube.
Yesterday, I woke up to the alarming news that my YouTube channel had been removed from the monetization program, YouTube's partner program.
YouTube does not care about its creators. They care more about maintaining a clean corporate image. And this has been proven time and time again.
That someone in their right mind would go out of their way to break the law for Susie Liu.
YouTube is a video sharing platform with over 2 billion users, which is pretty impressive. But that doesn't mean that the website is perfect. This website has a lot of problems. Most people just points the blame at Susan Wojcicki with some very valid criticism.
She is a woman.
Is that it? That's the entire fucking video. I know there's gonna be someone watching this video that is going to comment, well, if you don't like it, then why not just leave? Well, you see, YouTube barely has any competitors with the same amount of users. The reason for this is because hosting a video sharing website is fucking expensive. A website like YouTube might even have to expand their storage with 21 terabytes every single day. So if everyone on YouTube thought, hey, this website is shit, how about we emigrate to Artbot instead? Then there's a big chance that Artbot would shut down due to the amount of users that all of a sudden appears on their website. So the only way we can really improve YouTube is by criticizing it. So today, my children, I'll be going over the many problems with YouTube and the things they do to their own creators. Let's start by talking about YouTube's history. It all started with a man at the zoo.
Alright, so here we are in front of the elephants.
This is Jod Karim. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Him, along with his two friends that he met at PayPal, Steve Chen and Chad Hurley, created YouTube. Fast forward 1 year, 2006. Steve, Chad, and Jod sold YouTube to Google.
Hi YouTube, this is Chad and Steve. We're the co-founders of the site, and we just want to say thank you. Today we have some exciting news for you. We've been acquired by Google.
Yeah, thanks to every one of you guys that have been contributing to YouTube, the community.
This was their first mistake.
Chad and the other guy, I don't know his name, the Chinese guy, they're not the problem anymore, okay? They're long gone. They got their money, okay? They sold YouTube. Yeah, they're running it for tons of money, but they don't care, dude. They got tons of money. $1.65 billion. The problem is right there. That is the problem.
2007. YouTube introduces their partner program, which basically lets creators earn money off their videos. And 2007 was also the year that Viacom sued YouTube because YouTube had copyright infringing content on their site.
Now, though this system sucks monkey nuts, I can empathize with why YouTube had to implement this system. Viacom, among other companies, filed a bunch of lawsuits against YouTube saying they did too little to prevent copyright infringement, demanding
$1 million.
So YouTube was given a catch-22. They had to ignore these demands and get sued by an even larger company, or they had to implement this whack content ID system, bringing misery to millions, but at least the site stays open.
So YouTube implemented the Content ID, which is an AI that scans through videos and checks if there are any copyright infringing content in the videos. And you'd think since YouTube implemented this because they got sued for $1 billion that, you know, they would prevent copyright infringing content on their site. You know, they would probably care. They would probably like take down copyright infringing content. 2014. This is when Susan Wojcicki became the CEO of YouTube.
My name's Susan Wojcicki.
Now, in my opinion, this wasn't the best decision that Google made, because Susan has mostly worked in marketing, and she has helped Google develop marketing services, and she has also worked at Google's marketing services, and now she is the CEO. And I think she is part of the reason that YouTube focuses so much on their image right now, more than making sure that everyone follows the community guidelines.
Okay.
Wow, Stijo, det der var veldig transformativt. Bra at du vet hva fair use er, eller fair dealing, altså. Stijo, hvorfor faen blokka du meg på Twitter, jævla feiging? I mean, just look at YouTube Rewind. It's basically an ad for YouTube and does not show how YouTube really treats their creators. But I still kind of understand why Google made this decision, because YouTube isn't that profitable. So Google uses YouTube to advertise Google's other services like AdSense and Gmail.
No one knows whether YouTube is even profitable. It's clear at this point that Google does not keep YouTube running as a lucrative venture, but what it does bring in is the customers who will. For this reason, YouTube will likely never have to worry about financial woes as long as Google stays in business.
So it makes sense that Google chose Susan Wojcicki to be the CEO of YouTube due to her experience with marketing, so she could market other Google services so Google could actually make some money. Which is also why I think Google Plus was introduced to YouTube. Do you guys remember Google Plus? It was great, everyone loved it. And it's not a secret that YouTube doesn't give a fuck about commentary channels or edgy channels, because they make YouTube look bad. Another reason that YouTube cares a lot about their image so much now is due to all the adpocalypses on YouTube, which there is actually a theory that the advertisers on YouTube were already planning on pulling their ads, but they just needed an excuse to pull their ads.
Media companies and advertisers hold annual meetings called upfronts. Upfronts were originally used to determine their online marketing budget for the upcoming year. YouTube has typically hosted their upfront in the first week of May, but upfront negotiations across all networks span into the beginning of March. This time frame is significant to our theory because it indicates that brands must outline their tentative advertising budgets by the end of February, the time period that just so happens to align with YouTube Wake Up. It also happens to align with another infamous YouTube controversy. In February 2017, Wall Street Journal reporter Jack Nikas would co-publish an article accusing PewDiePie of anti-Semitism, a tremendous impact, all from a single misleading article. If you're noticing a pattern here, it's probably that springtime on YouTube is starting to bring a vigorous bloom of dubious controversy and advertiser boycotts.
YouTube is going downhill and has stooped to the point where they punish creators they see as unwanted on the platform.
YouTube's executives conspired against Leafy to sabotage the visibility of his channel.
YouTube probably ended up completely blacklisting Leafy's channel because they didn't like the fact that he bullied children.
Probably about 6 months ago, if I had to guess a time, my channel was shadow banned.
What is shadow banning? Shadow banning on YouTube is when YouTube hides a video or multiple videos from a specific channel from other people's recommended. So the only way to find the shadow banned YouTuber's content is by searching up the channel name or video title. And this has happened to a few people. Leafy is a channel that basically made fun of people, mainly children, but a lot of people seem to not know the real reason that Leafy disappeared. Many people will tell you that iDubbbz's content cop on Leafy is what killed Leafy, but Emplemon has shown in his video Leafy Was Here, YouTube Geographic, he showed that Leafy's subscriber rate has reduced by 80% and view rate by 40% before content cop was even released.
Leafy's stats show a sharp decline beginning in July 2016. Keep in mind, Content Cop came out September 12th, and even before the Content Cop, Leafy's subscriber rate had already dropped by 80% over the past 2 months. Over that same period, his average views dropped by about 40%. Even during the month of September, when you'd think Leafy would at least gain a temporary boost in views from the drama surrounding Content Cop, he had his biggest decline in viewership yet.
There's also a straight line from July 16th to October 16th, which means that Leafy lost the exact same amount of subscribers every single day for 3 months. And he never recovered except for now that he came back. But shut the fuck up. Let's compare that to Keemstar. He revived really quickly. And not only that, but a Twitter user by the name of Tower Dog posted a tweet longer where he alleged that there were some YouTube employees that was going to have a meeting in Google's offices. By the way, Susan had nothing to do with this meeting. That's what I said at the beginning, that she's part of the reason, not the entire reason. In that meeting, they were discussing what to do with these unwanted channels. Leafy is here, Grade Under A, Keemstar, Scares, and Onision. What does all of these channels have in common? They all create, report, and discuss drama. If this was some YouTube employees' unwanted list in 2016, how big do you think that list is now in 2020? Keep in mind, Leafy did not violate YouTube's terms of service or community guidelines back in 2016 when he was shadowbanned. In other words, the YouTube employees shadowbanned Leafy because they personally didn't like his content. Because why would they shadowban him if he didn't violate any of the guidelines?
It seems like tons of people are finally waking up and seeing through YouTube's tricks. I'm really glad so many people out there are coming out and disliking the rewind on their own, because I'm pretty sure that YouTube tried to prevent my message from getting out to the public.
Now, Emplement's YouTube channel wasn't shadowbanned, but a video of his was kind of shadowbanned, if that makes sense. His video was removed from People's Recommended. In that video he was criticizing YouTube Rewind and how YouTube didn't actually show what had happened in 2017, and instead showed things that would make YouTube look good. The video did really well at first, with 100k views and 1 million watch time on the first day. Heck, even 18% of the viewers left a like. But the next day, the video dropped significantly. I can't go see that. In views. Because YouTube hid... Only 18% of the views he got from the video was from recommended videos, while other videos with similar performance on the first day had got up to 70% of the views from recommended. Emplement's video got more views from external sites than from suggestions. His video that performed way better than usual performed worse than his videos from the month prior. Now this is not something new. YouTube does this to demonetize videos. But Emplement's video was not monetized.
I dug deeper into my analytics and found this. One single lone view from a source labeled YouTube advertising, which is odd since my video never had any ads running on it.
And he saw one view by YouTube advertising. And as soon as he got that view, the video dropped significantly in views.
And it just so happens that whatever this thing is, viewed my video on December 8th, the same time that my video performance started to suffer.
I assume that the YouTube advertising is an employee reviewing the video to see if it qualifies for monetization. And from the looks of it, he only watched the first 50 seconds where Emplement basically makes fun of YouTube and YouTube Rewind.
Alright everyone, so within the next week, YouTube is going to publish their big old YouTube Rewind for this year. It's going to be this hip, cool video with celebrities and pop stars and all these pretty little smiling faces doing a hip and cool dance sequence and hey everybody, look how hip and cool we are! Come and watch this video! It has all your favorite YouTubers like Jimmy Kimmel, The Rock, Taylor Swift. Please give this video 300 million views so we can give off the impression that YouTube is a rip-roaring fun time for the whole gang! So yeah, that's going to be the YouTube Rewind for this year. I just saved you 6.5 minutes, so don't watch it. It's going to get 450 bazillion views anyway though, because it's the kind of shit that trendy, mainstream dopes want to see. These normie...
YouTube censored this video because it was controversial and was making fun of YouTube and how they focus too much on their own image. They don't even watch the entire video and see if there's an actual message. When it comes to Gabby Hanna, I have absolutely no clue. It's a little bit confusing. Some of her claims for being shadowbans are pretty fucking stupid.
Like, I put out my music video and YouTube right away is like, okay, trend it. This is one of our creators, let's support her. And then they never trended my music videos again. Or any of my videos.
The trending page is just television. Why would YouTube trend an actual creator?
In my video where I was talking about where I was dyeing my hair, I talked about how YouTube shadow banned my channel and wouldn't trend me anymore. And then they trended that video. So they don't trend any of my videos. And then I talk about the fact they won't trend my videos and then they trend it.
But some of her claims are decent, I guess.
Like, I have 6 years of content. I've done TV shows. I have viral vines. I have music videos and regular videos with tens of millions of views. I do podcasts. I do interviews. I do so much. And when you watch my videos, if you search my name, it's all hate. It's all drama.
But it's not good enough, and she doesn't show any proof at all. What she could have done instead is to show her analytics and showed how many views she has gotten from suggested videos, instead of just saying, oh, I messaged this person and he or she got a lot of videos, critical videos of me, and recommended, oh no, I've been shadow banned. But shadow banning isn't the only... Oh, fuck. But shadow banning isn't the only thing that YouTube has done to their creators.
So, YouTube is on that little bit shit once again. They will not send me my gold play button.
Hey Boblax, I think it's pretty fucked up that YouTube snubs you on your 100,000 subscriber reward.
It isn't about the play button, but it's about the principle of the reward system on YouTube.
So recently, YouTube has decided to not give certain creators their play button, which is an award that creators get for passing a specific milestone, like 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, and 100 million subscribers. And YouTube says the reason they won't give these creators the reward is because they're not qualified for it. In my opinion, as long as your channel doesn't intentionally violate community guidelines or copyright, it should be fine. But YouTube doesn't seem to agree with me.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Twitter versus...
Poblax is a YouTuber known for his Twitter versus series, where he basically shows Twitter reactions to current drama on YouTube from a specific day, but 2 months after he hit 100,000 subscribers. He still hadn't received his silver play button, but after asking YouTube about it and sending an application to get one, he then tweeted a screenshot of a reply he got from YouTube saying, "Hi Josh, I hope all is well. I just got an update from our internal team. We have reviewed your channel and it looks like it doesn't currently meet our Creator Awards criteria. Creator Awards are given at YouTube's discretion and only to creators that follows the rules. This includes following copyright and other laws, our community guidelines, and our terms of service." And this tweet was shown with a lot of support from other creators.
Hey Boblax, I think it's pretty fucked up that YouTube snubs you on your 100,000 subscriber reward, so I thought maybe I'd just offer to give you this one that I got.
Let's see if Boblax does follow these criteria or not. Okay, so he has passed a specific milestone, being 100,000 subscribers. His Google account is very active. He posts on his YouTube channel around 4 times a week. He has received a copyright strike from Pokimane, but that happened for over a year ago and it has been resolved. And besides that, I wouldn't call Boblax's videos copyright infringing. He can't really damage someone financially by just reading and showing tweets, since barely anything published on Twitter can be monetized except for sponsorships, I guess. Even if it did, what financial damage can he cause towards someone by reading and showing things public figures has done themselves? For instance, you can't blame Boblax for being the reason that Pokimane can't take criticism just because he read and showed some tweets from Pokimane that Pokimane has written and published by her own will, by herself. I'm pretty sure he does comply with the terms of service. I'm not 100% sure because I don't have the access to the terms of service in Canada. As far as I know, Boblax just read tweets and shows attached media to those tweets. At least I haven't seen anything not family friendly about that. But even if it did, it's not mandatory to make family friendly content on YouTube. It just benefits you more. So I don't see why that should prevent him from getting an award from YouTube for passing 100,000. It's pretty stupid that just because you swear in a few videos, you're not allowed to get an award. His videos doesn't consist of just his own original content, only his voice and his own tweets. And if there's a kind of a compilation, there's a big difference from him reading tweets from people and Fortnite compilations or some shit. He doesn't just show the tweet, he does read them as well, while other compilation channels just shows clips with not really much context, and that's about it. I think he follows that criteria too. People has tried to cancel him, but it's not been successful. And his content is not deceptive, spammy, or definitely does not show any types of scams. If that was the case, then his channel would have probably been terminated. So at least in my eyes, he's 100% eligible for the play button. And one thing that's really annoying is how YouTube doesn't specify what criteria he doesn't follow that prevents him from getting the play button, which is something that pretty much everyone hates about YouTube. They'll tell you whenever something happens to your channel, and they'll tell you what happened, but they never tell you why it happened. You'll have to find that out by yourself, and if you don't know, too bad, YouTube won't tell you. If you tweet at them, like at the very best, you'll get a "sorry to hear about that, DM us and tell us more," or "creator support is the best team to help with this issue. Here's how you can get in touch with them." YouTube definitely need to be better at communicating with their creators, instead of just sending the same copy-paste message to everyone. But surprisingly enough, Boblax isn't the only YouTuber that doesn't get his play button.
I beat the fuck out of my dick so goddamn hard that my left leg has went totally numb.
When it comes to Eat That Pussy 445 case, or EDP as I'm going to refer to him in this video, it's pretty much the same as Boblax, except EDP is waiting for his gold play button. He also, according to YouTube, did not follow the criteria. Let's see if this is true or not. So he has reached a milestone. He reached 1 million subscribers. He is very active on his channel, and his videos does not consist of any copyrighted material at all. They are unedited vlogs, I guess, that he records with his phone. Raw footage of him just talking or ranting about things. And according to himself, he has no community guideline strikes either. And I'm pretty sure he does comply with the terms of service, but his videos does not follow the advertiser-friendly guidelines. But again, I don't see why that should prevent him from getting a reward. It's pretty stupid. His videos are, again, 100% original and doesn't contain any copyrighted material. His channel has not been cancelled, and his videos are definitely not deceptive, spammy, and does not promote scams. The only thing preventing him from getting this award is him swearing. YouTube, what the actual fuck?
Now our next story today comes from the YouTuber known as Streetman TV. Now this guy has over 100,000 subscribers. He tried to get his 100,000 subscriber play button from YouTube, and they actually denied him here.
I feel like this is a completely opinionated decision from the back end of YouTube, since there is no specific reason.
Now Streetman's reason for not receiving his award is a bit different. Although his videos wasn't the most family friendliest content out there, yet again, why should that prevent him from getting the award? He has actually taken active measures to bleep out swear words and made it more family friendly.
Let's hope nothing bad happens now. Let's not hope I crash. Oh fuck, there's a car, I'm gonna crash! Ah! Ah! The car is still running. It hasn't started burning yet.
It still complies with the family-friendly guidelines, and his videos are still monetized, so it seems to be a different reason for why he didn't get his silver play button. Something unrelated to the criteria. He detailed all of this in a video called The Horrible 100k Subscriber Experience. Entertainment content, discrimination, exclusion, and obscurity. He explains that a few weeks after you hit a milestone, you'll get a code from YouTube that you use to claim the play button. But Streetman never heard anything from YouTube regarding a code or his play button at all. He says that he's pretty sure that he's eligible, he makes original content, he has no community guideline strikes, and his content is monetized and follows the family-friendly guidelines. The only thing is that he had a few unresolved copyright claims on his channel, but that's from his one of his oldest videos, and he got claimed due to some sound effects that he used. He did contact YouTube via email and got a reply from a guy named Brian who said it was gonna forward it to the internal team. He later gets the email from Brian saying the same thing that Boblax and EDP was told, yet again not detailing what criteria he didn't follow, just that he didn't follow the criteria. Streetman then resolved all the copyright claims that he has got, and then he emailed Brian about how he felt about the situation, how he didn't feel appreciated by YouTube even though he has made content on the website for over a decade. He then got another reply from Brian saying he's going to forward this to the review team and also to see if there's someone else who can review Streetman's content. And Brian seems to be very sympathetic towards this.
And I just want to say this, it really feels like Brian also thinks this is not fair. But he's not deciding this, he's just a middleman. And that's also just giving me a confirmation like, this is not right, this isn't how it should be.
Streetman also contacted his MCN, which is Omnia Media. Omnia Media contacted YouTube asking for answers for why they wouldn't give Streetman the play button. One day later, he gets a reply from Omnia Media telling him about how they contacted YouTube about this issue and asked for an explanation of why YouTube doesn't want to give Streetman the play button. Omnia Media later got a reply from YouTube saying the rewards team uses their discretion to determine who gets the award. That's all they said. That's all YouTube told them. Now, where have I heard that before? Streetman then gets an email from Brian telling him the exact same thing that YouTube told Omnia Media.
And this is where it starts getting f***ed up. Because now it's pretty obvious that YouTube don't really want to tell us the reason why they won't give me the plaque. And it starts getting pretty obvious for me that the reason why they don't want to tell us the reason why I won't get this reward is because there isn't really a reason to it, because I follow every criteria. It feels like that they know that they should give me the plaque, but they just don't want to do it. They don't want me to have it. And right after I heard this from my partner manager, I got a response from Brian. Hi, how are you? I hope all is well. I write to you today with a heavy heart to let you know that our appeal was denied. The initial determination was found to be accurate, and thus the channel will remain ineligible to receive the award. It pains me to say this, but creator awards are given at YouTube's discretion and is only to creators that follow the rules. This includes following copyright and other laws, our community guidelines, and our terms of service.
Now, Streetman then asks for a more specific reason because he still hasn't been told the exact reason for why he hasn't gotten the play button.
Please let me know the exact reasoning to what rule I break. I don't see any problem, and I feel there is no real reasoning to not include me and give me the award. I feel like this is a completely opinionated decision from the back end of YouTube, since there is no specific reason. I do not see any problem with my channel nor my content. My manager from my network has also been in contact, and he also says that you refuse to give me a proper reasoning.
And guess what Brian's reply is? I'm afraid we can't give you the exact reason for why. So in other words, they don't have a fucking reason for not giving either EDP, Blacks, or Streetman a play button, because if they really had a reason, then why couldn't they tell them? What damage can informing them the reason for why they won't give them the play button, what damage can that cause? Now, I reached out to Streetman about this and asked him if there's anything else that I should mention in this video, and he sent me a link to a tweet that he made about him receiving a strike from YouTube, a community guideline strike.
Currently, my first video on this channel got striked. Let me read the reason. Violation of YouTube's policy on nudity and sexual content. Nudity? What the fuck? The video that got striked? I wasn't nude at all. I appealed the strike and I got this message. So in the video that got striked, I was eating chocolate and I was reviewing the chocolate. I don't know why it got striked. Guess I'll never know, man.
And YouTube yet again didn't explain why he got the strike and which part of the video he appeared nude. And then Streetman had to contact his manager, who then contacted YouTube to get the strike removed. And then YouTube told him, oh, it was just a mistake. So yeah, again, this is what YouTube does. They punish people and then don't give a reason why. They just tell what happened, but not why it happened. It's clear that YouTube is just going downhill, but their biggest mistake was what they did on December 11th, 2019.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Scares here. Our first story of today is massive, okay? This comes from YouTube. You need to hear about this because it is going to probably affect a lot of the YouTubers that you like to watch right now. This is just such a massive change to the platform. So, YouTube tweeted this out. They said, many of you have told us that we need to do a better job preventing harassment on YouTube, so we consulted with a wide array of creators, experts, and organizations to update our harassment policy, which changed today.
I have been suspended from the YouTube Partnership Program.
Criticism is now considered harassment, and you deserve demonetization if you're criticizing people for their bad actions.
My friend Tipster, he was demonetized. A fate very similar, in fact the same to my own. I was demonetized for harassment.
One of my videos, the one that I made on H3H3 last year, was retroactively targeted
and taken down.
A lot of YouTubers recently have been getting their videos demonetized or their videos have been getting taken down, where it says YouTube takes down a chess podcast for being harmful or dangerous.
Tipster is a channel that covers news and trending topics. He criticizes YouTubers. Despite it being a simple format, it's the same thing I do. It's the same thing I'm Alex does. It's the same thing Colossal is Crazy does.
The original upload of this video was taken down from YouTube for violating their community guidelines on harassment and bullying.
iDubbbz made a content cop on YouTube. YouTube took this video down today.
YouTube doesn't want our content on the website.
This all started with Carlos Mazo, who worked for Vox, but now doesn't work for Vox and has gone independent. But this isn't related to Carlos's job. Another YouTuber by the name of Steven Crowder is a YouTuber who makes fun of everyone for everything. This includes Carlos Maza and his sexuality.
This is what Mr. Gay Vox wants to do. Mr. Lispy Queer from Vox.
You see, Carlos is gay, and I know that because he makes fun of that himself.
So obviously, I wore my gayest possible outfit for the interview.
His fucking on Twitter is @gaywonk. So when Steven made a few jokes about Carlos and his sexuality, you'd think that Carlos would just ignore it and wouldn't care about it. But no, you're wrong.
It had nothing to do with my political views. He was calling me a lispy queer and a sprite and a fairy, and he called me a gay Mexican, and he would routinely make fun of the way that I spoke and just do gay impressions.
Now Carlos is actually wrong, because you see, what Steven did is that he debunked Carlos's strike-through series, and then added a few jokes about Carlos's sexuality. I couldn't find the exact video where he made these jokes, but at least from what I could see from other videos from around the same time, it really looks like that's the case.
So, CNN's favorite resident pool boy in chief, Chris Cuomo, the Cabana boy, he was having a debate with Ben Ferguson, and I wanted to run through these clips because I think that Chris Cuomo's statements here on this Mac Bags and the state wrestling title and the issue of gender and biology, it's very typical of how today's regressive left argues these type of issues.
And that's also what I've heard from other people as well.
Most of it was meant in good fun, and while he was clearly demeaning Carlos, it's not like that's all that was being said in the videos, and it's not like it was being used as an argument against him. It was simply poking fun at Carlos's somewhat feminine demeanor. And make no mistake, he doesn't come across as the most manly guy in the world.
Even YouTube agreed with this and defended Steven when Carlos tweeted about this on Twitter, asking YouTube to take down these videos. Carlos wasn't really happy with that answer, and therefore did that thing that people on YouTube does whenever they don't get how they want. He contacted advertisers on YouTube and made them pull their ads from YouTube.
And it already backfired when his friend was fucking demonetized. Carlos, you moron. Dude, bro, buddy, you literally upload videos to YouTube. You make videos on YouTube. How did you ever expect that any change you made would be fair?
Thanks, Carlos. You're such a great human. Fuck you.
This isn't on them, it's completely on you. Your sad, pathetic, disingenuous campaign to get someone who you disagree with banned is now going to affect plenty of creators who aren't doing anything wrong.
And Tom isn't wrong, because on December 11th, 2019, 1 year after YouTube removed Mumpkin Jones's YouTube channels, YouTube updated their bullying and harassment guideline and took down 3 videos, being Fine Bros React by Psychic Pebbles, Content Cop on Leafy by iDubbbz, and The Death of H3H3 Video Vigilante by Gokunaru. Now, it's not a bad thing that YouTube wants to get rid of harassment on the site, but the problem is that it seems like YouTube focuses more on who breaks the guideline rather than how they broke the guideline. For instance, many of Tipster's videos has been taken down, and he even lost his monetization for bullying Susie Lou.
And I would have told you to check out Tips's videos on her, but just yesterday, Susie Lou mass flagged a bunch of Tips's videos on her, and they were taken down with a community guideline strike for, you guessed it, harassment and cyberbullying.
But Ethan can say this about Trisha Paytas without any consequences from YouTube at all.
From beauty queen to WWF wrestler in 2 seconds. She is unrecognizable. This is Coachella versus throwing down in the McDonald's parking lot at 3 a.m. Dude, Coachella versus open casket funeral. Oh damn, Tana's looking pretty good these days. Oh. Oh, I can't believe it's the same day. She looks like a Twinkie.
But our main focus for this chapter is going to be how YouTube was, and probably still is, defending Susie Liu, who, for people that doesn't know, is a YouTuber who mainly makes reaction videos to anime, but also makes a few gaming videos. But Susie's reactions aren't great, but she has been criticized for doing more than just having bad reaction videos. She clickbait suicide. She also uploaded her unedited videos to Patreon, so she's basically being paid for just re-uploading someone else's work, because her unedited videos contains the entire anime episode she's reacting to, which is illegal without a license, which she has confirmed she does not have. Her channel was also terminated due to copyright strikes from TV Tokyo, and all Susie had to do is just call YouTube, and then YouTube reinstated her channel without there being a lawsuit between TV Tokyo and Susie.
Okay, I basically phoned up my YouTube partner manager and I was like, what the heck's going on? And I felt so bad because my partner manager and then all the people that work with him they're supposed to be on holiday until next week. So they went straight back into office and they found out what happened.
Now, as I've stated before, these strikes were most likely valid. But what does YouTube do? They reverse all of them.
Which makes it illegal for YouTube to reinstate her channel because YouTube is protected by Safe Harbor, which makes YouTube not liable for any copyright infringing content on the site, which also doesn't give them permission to intervene in any copyright disputes on their site.
YouTube cannot get involved in copyright disputes. YouTube won't get involved in the process because fair use can only be determined in a court of law.
She has also struck down many videos being critical of her, like John Swan's video and Tipster's videos.
But last year, she flagged down an interview I did with a lawyer, where I discussed whether or not Mark After Dark's clip, that's the clip she flagged down last year for a copyright strike, whether his clip was fair use, whether what she did was an abuse of the copyright strike system, and whether content that she had re-uploaded from other sources was used in a matter that constitutes fair use. An interview with a lawyer is harassment. Explain how that makes sense to anyone.
She also contradicts herself way too much, and is such a hypocrite.
But when the videos came down from his channel, I had no idea that they were coming down. They didn't tell me anything. People actually have to make mistakes for content to come down. Because I'm not hiding when I say to you guys, I don't like it. Of course I don't like it. Nobody would like it if people were sitting there and like bashing their appearance. So fine, blame me for everything, even though you have zero proof of anything that people are accusing me of doing.
And she also made her own website after she was terminated from Patreon due to copyright, where you can watch her reaction videos, and you can become a VIP, where you can get full access to her unedited videos and her private Discord, where she deletes messages every single second. And guess what? After all she has done, YouTube is still actively protecting her. They think she's a victim of online harassment. Not only is YouTube protecting her, they're also promoting her. She was in YouTube Rewind 2019. For YouTube, it's more important to prevent online harassment than making sure people follow the law. Do you guys remember the death of Age 3 by Gokinaru? Well, it was re-uploaded so many times at the point where YouTube hard blocked it. Now, Boblax downloaded the original, the uncensored version, and then he downloaded a reaction video by Susie Liu. He replaced the anime Susie Liu was reacting to with the death of Age 3, so it looked like Susie was reacting to this video Vigilante episode, and that video hasn't been taken down. It's still up right now. What the fuck, YouTube? Now, if this wasn't enough, more things started happening when I started working on this video. Just out of nowhere, Nicholas Diorio, Dr. Cringe, Irate Alex, Boblax, Turkey Tom, Sensitive Society, Creepshow Arts, and more got all of their videos demonetized. They were still in YouTube's partnership program, so their channel wasn't demonetized, but all of their videos were. And YouTube didn't even notify them when or why it happened. Many of these videos had been manually reviewed and approved for monetization previously. One of them, Nicholas Diorio, got an email from YouTube's internal team saying they couldn't review his video because it was deleted. He also told me that he contacted Team YouTube on Twitter about this, and Team YouTube for some reason began deleting their replies to his tweets. Boblax also contacted Google support, who reviewed a test video Boblax uploaded. They first said, I encountered a glitch on my tools, only to tell them a few minutes later that they didn't find any problems with their limited or no ads algorithm. And if you ask me, it doesn't look like a coincidence. Why were only small commentary channels hit by this? Why just commentary channels? Well, here's my game theory. Oh, herregud. Well, remember those YouTube employees I mentioned in chapter 2? Well, I think they might have tried to shadowban these smaller commentary channels, but they forgot about the demonetization system. Because when Leafy was shadowbanned, demonetization didn't exist. And this mass demonetization of commentary channels and Leafy's shadowban is kinda similar, except that Leafy didn't lose his monetization. Neither of them were notified whenever this happened. Demonetization and shadowbanning both prevents videos from being pushed into other people's recommended. I think these employees hate drama on YouTube and might even be a big reason why YouTube is so strict about their bullying and harassment guideline these days. Think about it. Channel demonetization is one of the punishments you can get if your video contains creator-on-creator harassment. I think these employees also has the mentality that all commentary channels does is to use other people's controversies for their own personal gain, and they probably think it's unfair. I don't really have any proof to back up this theory, but I just think it sounds possible. YouTube is clearly going downhill. It's so sad. It's at the point where I've seen mainstream media makes more edgy jokes than YouTubers because YouTube won't allow any types of jokes resolving a different person. If you're a YouTuber and you eat chocolate, your video might be taken down for containing nudity. But if you make a music video that clearly should be age restricted, it doesn't matter. YouTube will trend that shit for 2 weeks. Just because you're mainstream. If you're mainstream, you can do anything you want on YouTube. And that's not an over-exaggeration. The conclusion is that YouTube only cares about mainstream media and mainstream celebrities, not YouTubers. But hey, that's just a fucking whore! So yeah, that's the video. I'm sorry for being gone for so long, but there's been something happening in my personal life. I've been traveling during the summer. And then school started now, and it's my last year of ungdomsskolen, so I kind of want to focus a little bit more on school. Maybe some of you have seen that I've changed my name and profile picture. That's because I kind of want to rebrand, because I want to make more videos like this one and the Keemstar one. So I've unlisted my older videos because I don't really like them anymore. I feel like they're pointless and didn't really bring anything new to the table. So I've unlisted them, and then made a playlist called like the Bolla era and added those videos to the playlist. So you can still watch my older videos. And then Leafy got terminated, which is pretty fucking stupid because he criticized Pokimane and then spent like 2 minutes just saying she's not attractive and then spent the rest criticizing her. And then made like 7 other videos just talking about his merch and stock market. And then he got terminated without warning. YouTube is so shit. It's at the point where Daily Motion is better. Fucking Daily Motion. YouTube needs to realize that criticizing people isn't something unique to YouTube. It happens everywhere. So why can't you allow it on this platform? Follow me on Storyfire in case I get terminated from YouTube, because it wouldn't surprise me considering, again, how shit the bullying and harassment guideline really is. That's my backup, I guess, in case my channel gets taken down. Like, subscribe, and go and die.
Listen.